Releasing karmic cycles. I'm going to be making chocolate chip cookies. We're releasing this toxicity in our life and calling back our power. These karmic cycles, they're huge. They will feel like a huge challenge and an obstacle. But what a beautiful opportunity for blessings. I myself just went through a huge release. I feel like I've stepped through a threshold in my love life. I had a very poverty mindset in the past, and I was limiting myself to what I could receive. And now I've stepped through this threshold, and I feel so abundant in my love life. And it was the very next day after I did these practices and truly released it and let it up to the universe and God that everything started working out for me. I mean, I've gone through these periods before where things are just working out, but I was just doing my normal, mundane routines. And for example, I had a to-do list of things to do, and I was like, well, I'm going to get done 1, 2, 3 today, okay? And I was just going about my day, enjoying it, being very playful. I was out in the sunshine. I was taking a walk near the beach, and randomly, I'm like getting a call, and someone in my family was like, oh yeah, I can just do this for you. Like, I'm on my way here. And it just all was working out perfectly. And my to-do list was being done for me, like before my eyes. I am so excited to share this with you all. Okay, so let's get started on the cookies. First things first. Okay. I'm actually doing a paleo chocolate chip cookie today. Chocolate chip are my absolute favorite, but I'm not really doing gluten too much anymore. And the refined sugar, I'm all done with it. Here and there, sometimes I have it, but I really like the sugars from honey and from dates. I like the flavor better. For me, it's more satisfying than those like flavorings we find in a lot of prepackaged foods. So I'm super excited to share this recipe. I've never made it before, but I've made something similar. So the first thing that we all must know by now, right, is that money and men are connected. So my release was around men, but money, health, men, career, your passion, your purpose, all of these things are divinely connected. So once one of them levels up in your life, you're going to see a connection everywhere. I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients in one bowl and then the wet ones in the other. Next up is a half teaspoon of baking soda. So I want to start off with the tools that we use to release. Everybody has to find their own tools and what works for them. For me, it's a long process. I know some people can just be like, you know what? I'm going to release this. I'm going to go journal about it right now. And for me, that's not the way it works. So I actually was talking to my girls, and we came up with this grand plan to journal our ideal selves. So the highest version of you, the one you see in your visions, in your dreams, your highest woman. we wanted to journal her mindset, her lifestyle, her relationships with her family, her friendships. We're all young female entrepreneurs, so for us it was our business empires, our business team, anything that resonates with you. That's what we were journaling. And from that, I realized I had this blockage and I needed to have closure with something. I needed to have closure with this situation, with this relationship in my life. And it didn't feel right to contact them and have a conversation. That wasn't the type of closure I was seeking. My heart was seeking closure for myself. And this really called back my power. I couldn't, once I had that conversation, I knew I'm going to journal about this, but I wasn't ready yet. So that very day, I went on a walk, a really nice neighborhood walk. It actually ended up being an entire hour. And I was just dropping in. I didn't know at this point how this was gonna go. I just thought, I need some time, some me time. I need to relax and recover. I'm gonna do some breathing routines and drop into my body, maybe a body scan. And so I'm just walking, breathing, slowing down my heartbeat, enjoying everything around me, the sun, the breeze, the birds chirping and singing. And I'm just really trying to connect with God and be so grateful for all the life around me. And then I knew I was ready. I thought, let me just try it out. Even if this isn't the end all be all, I'm just gonna try it out. This is a really cool practice that my friend recommended to me. I knew there was parts of my past with this relationship that I was closing up that brought me pain, and I thought that I had been over them. Like, it's been years. I thought that I was over it. And consciously, I am. I read the affirmations, do the quotes, the meditations, the podcasts, the books, everything, and it's been years. And so consciously, I know the words to say to myself. I can give myself this advice, and the oven is preheated to 350. I really, really consciously did the work and released this pain. But in my body, there is this tension. Tension in my heart, in my hips, in my back, in my shoulders, and it doesn't show up all the time. But when I'm in certain situations where it gets triggered, I feel it. And I really wanted to unlock it, open up the box of worms, and sort through it all. And for me, that was going into the subconscious. So yesterday, me and the girls were talking about the difference between growth. What's the difference between personal growth and healing? And that's when it hit me. I had done the personal growth, the conscious growth, the physical, material growth, but the energy, the subconscious, the feeler hadn't caught up. And so I wanted to go back and heal her. So on my walk, I dropped in and I put myself in that moment, the one, and there will be many, but you know the one I'm talking about, the moment where you felt that pain, the emptiness, the darkness. You're safe now. Take this version of you and go back to her. I can see the room I was in. I'm not sure the exact outfit I was wearing, but I remember more like what my face looked like and my hair and my body, and I can remember how it felt. I felt very lonely in my life. I didn't have strong connections with my family members this time. I did not have any strong connections with friends. I did not have any strong connection with myself. I felt totally detached from myself and my love and my heart, and I felt dark and empty and lonely, and I was chasing, I don't even know what. I was trying to chase love and connection, but I wasn't. And so I dropped back into that moment, and I picked myself up. I said, "Hi, it's me. It's me, and I'm here." And I gave her a big hug, and I held her, and I told her, "Thank you. Thank you so much for all this pain that you endured, for all these experiences and every single choice that you ever made. It might feel wrong sometimes, but you're exactly where you're meant to be. And without every single decision that you made, and without every single ounce of pain that you endured, I would not have become this strong, beautiful woman that I am today. And I am so thankful to be me, and I am so thankful for you." And then I gave her a big, huge hug. I just held her, and I picked her up. I held her hand, and I said, "Come with me." I actually did not hold her hand. I picked her up. I held her. She was a lot lighter. Her weight is a lot lighter, and I'm a lot stronger now. And so I picked her up and I held her, and I walked out of that room. I took her on a walk through my current life. I walked through my career, my job, and these things were so amazing for her to see. She was like, "Wait, we enjoy our job every single day, every single moment. We have a flexible schedule and a flexible creative outlet at work where we can share love, and our employer is so caring and appreciative and values us for who we truly are and our true desires." And I was like, "Yes, this is all true, yes." And I walked her down. I said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot. I need to tell you about all our family relationships, our beautiful, fulfilling family relationships." And I walked her through my relationship with my dad and my mom and my stepmom and my stepdad and my sisters, my 3 beautiful sisters, and my brother and my cousins and aunties and uncles and family friends and everything. And I was like, "You would not believe the amount of love that is in our life. We are so fulfilled, and it's a big thanks to you and these moments. And this hard work that you're going through indeed has paid off." And this was so healing to me. I 100% recommend this exercise. However, it's true, everybody has to find their own tools. So this is the meditation that I did. It was a walking meditation. And that kind of set the mood for me for the week so that I could think about journaling. And so I had these intentions of making myself feel loved, and whenever any pain came up about my past or any memories I was holding tension with, I did it again. It was a lot less intense than the first time, and I had some practice and some experience with it, so it was different. And it was really nice. Anytime it came up, no matter what I was doing, walking through the grocery store, laying in bed, I would just be like, "Okay, I'm here," and I would drop in, go to that memory, that version of myself, and be there with her. And this is so incredibly healing. Okay, I think that's all for the dry ingredients. I'm just gonna mix them up. And I'm gonna get started on the wet ingredients. I had a half day off that last week, and so it was really helpful with this as well. I took myself out to a really nice rooftop lunch by the beach, just a table for one, which is something that I really enjoy doing, and I know it can be a hard step for people. It's kind of that huge step of like, what are people gonna think of me? You know, I'm sitting all alone, is this awkward? But it's a huge act of self-love. I'm actually going to put some cinnamon into the dry mix because I love cinnamon. It's so warm and cozy, and I love the taste of it. So honestly, I put a lot. So for the wet ingredients, I'm gonna go over them now so I don't forget. We have 1 large egg, a 1/4 cup of honey. I'm using this raw, unfiltered, local honey. It's creamy wildflower. It calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I'm going to use a vanilla bean paste, which I enjoy a lot more. This one, I wish it didn't, so next time I'm going to get one with a lot less ingredients. But it does have organic cane alcohol. I just wish it didn't have that alcohol in there, but that's all right. Oh, and then a fourth cup of melted coconut oil or butter. So let's get into this journaling, right? And of course, I'm talking about a man, but you can do this with an employer, a job, a family member, a friendship, or whatever feels toxic in your life. This is going to work. So I was watching Mr. Christian Walker. You definitely know who he is. If you don't know his name, he's the guy that comes up on your For You page and he's like yelling at you because telling you that women deserve way better. And he has a YouTube channel. So I'm watching his YouTube channel and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the episode I was watching was actually more, you should definitely watch it. It's like something about how to get over that man. If you're not yet ready to let go and you've just been trapped in this relationship, that's probably better for you. For me, I was like, well, I'm already over it. I've already released it. So I don't really need all of this. But I wanted to continue listening. And something that really resonated with me was the steps that he took. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna put, oh, I put a lot. That's okay. I love vanilla bean. Anywho. Christian Walker. I don't know if he said these exact words, but in the comments, somebody wrote their notes on the video, and it was something along the lines of write down every single thing that he's ever done to cause you pain. And then we're going to ask ourselves, why? What was within me? Not judging yourself, but just looking inside. Why did I believe that I deserved to allow myself to be treated this poorly? So I got on with my writing, and I'm going to be totally honest, I would not have been able to do this if I hadn't journaled first. So my first journal was a letter of love. It was a letter of closure for me. So I'm journaling all about how what this relationship meant to me. Everything. And for me, this was a huge karmic relationship. I don't even know if it might be the biggest one I'll ever have in my life in terms of lessons. I remember manifesting. I wished for someone like them to come into my life from a very young age. And then I saw them, and they came, and we shared these beautiful experiences, and it really healed parts of me. And so I wrote all about that. And I wrote all about how grateful I was for all our memories. And it turned into this story of us. And it came from a place of gratitude. It was as if I was writing from the version of me that's my pure soul, my egoless, grateful, compassionate soul, just looking back at all the moments in my life and cherishing them, no matter if they caused me pain, just being grateful for every single moment because it's the human experience. And it was a beautiful, beautiful letter. And I didn't want to limit myself, and so I wrote it as if I was not going to send it. I ended up sending it. I know, I'm shocked myself, but I really wanted to share how precious the experience of knowing them was for me. And at the end, I said a goodbye. And I said, I'll hold you in my heart forever. And like, this is goodbye. And I forgive you. And I know a lot of people are not at that stage. So this might not be the video for you. But for me, I was in total bliss. I am so grateful for all these things that happened in my life. I am so grateful for every single fragment of who I am now. My dog is being really funny outside. I'm thinking about if I should melt the honey, but I don't really want to. But it might make this a lot easier. Oops. So after I released, me from a place of gratitude and love and peace, I was able to look at all those things that hurt me. And you might do it the opposite way. You might be feeling rage and need to express yourself by looking at all those things. I was in that gratitude state. I was seeing all the ways that he ever blessed me. And I was thinking about all our good memories. And I had this feeling that I had to release the dark, dirty stuff, because when you get in that state when you're only looking at the good parts of somebody and you're like, I needed to see the whole picture. I really did. I wanted to see the whole picture. I needed it. And so I started writing. And these things were from a long time ago and from recent. Every single thing he's ever did that hurt me. And then also anything that's in his character or in his current qualities now that just really don't align with me and where I'm going. It was long. It was very long. It was around 8 pages, my journal. I did 30 seconds of this honey in the microwave and it's definitely melted. I'm sad to melt, some really good raw honey, but it's all right. After I released all those things that he did to hurt me, I felt so grounded in this decision to let go. It wasn't about hatred, resentment. No. It was about my journey is so sacred and I love me. And his journey is so sacred and I love him. And at one point, we were so aligned and we really, really, really healed each other. We were there for each other. Excuse me. And it was so, so, so beautiful, and I will always cherish that. But now at this point, we are not aligned. And we might be going in the same direction. It doesn't matter. I have completely released him. I'm not holding on to anything. I'm not holding on to any expectations. I'm not holding on to him. I'm not hoping that in the future we have another relationship or connection. Ooh, this looks nice, actually. I've let it go. And I want to talk about setting the mood for journaling. So our body goes through a lot of physical and psychological stress. When you're journaling, you want to be completely calm. You want to be in recovery mode. I have my Aura ring, and so I know my body is recovering versus engaged or stressed. So that's really, really helpful. But maybe do some yoga on the ground. Connect to the earth, maybe spend some time in nature. It doesn't need to be a lot of time. Just be there with yourself. Watch your breath, do a body scan, really just drop in and be like, I have nothing to do right now. I'm just gonna be here with you, and drop into that juicy, cozy moment. Maybe light some candles, make some warm tea or a warm drink that you like. Something healing and nurturing. Maybe have like a really, really cozy seat that you're in, a couch or something. I wouldn't recommend a bed just because it doesn't sound comfy to sit up in. More like a couch or something, but whatever feels good to you. A park, whatever it is, and that's when you journal. So I'm going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry. Then I had to get into, why did I ever think that I deserved to be treated this poorly? And I realized that when I was younger, I watched women in my life allow themselves to be treated this way. And so that's what I knew. And that's what I didn't consciously, I knew I would say, no, I don't deserve that. Of course, I knew out loud, no, I don't want that. But my subconscious was not caught up, was not connected. And so, and it was more connected and more caught up than in the past, of course. But I needed to do more healing. And so saying it, writing it out, and saying, oh, that's why you feel that way. Okay. And I want to say now that the ladies in my life no longer tolerate this behavior. No men in my life no longer exhibit these behaviors. But my foundations, when I was young, I was seeing these reflections in my life, and they stuck with me. I felt like those reflections in my life stuck with me for a while, and as it manifested in my life was through people pleasing and anxiety. And what I realized through this whole journaling process of letting go of this man is that when I was that young girl and I was manifesting them into my life, I was looking for somebody that would never abandon me, as if I had a missing piece inside of me. And I was trying to fit them into be that missing piece. But when I released it, I realized I don't have a missing piece. I'm whole and I'm fulfilled with me. And I'm the one who will never ever abandon me. I'm the one who brings myself security and safety, me and God and the universe and everything conspiring for my protection. And that was so freeing. I had to let go of those limiting beliefs. And I looked back at my process, at my journey with people pleasing and having this anxiety, and I got over, I honestly really, really did some practices and really got through my anxiety a few years ago. And I forgot I had it, like, very terribly affected me. But when I was going through all this journaling last week, when I said out loud, I will never ever abandon myself, it just opened up this portal to how I used to be. I've always been very, the word of like empath, where you can easily feel other people's emotions. And the reason why it affected me is because I was a people pleaser. I wanted to nurture other people's emotions instead of protecting my peace. I would take myself out of protecting me to go help others. And that is something I will never ever do again. And so every single time a trigger came up this past week, I could feel it in my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh, you think that I'm gonna leave you again. You think I'm gonna abandon you. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And I have dough in my hands, but I put my hand over my heart and I said, you are safe. I will never leave you. Your peace is a priority to me, and I will not leave protecting you to soothe someone else's emotions. I will never do it again. You can imagine. It took many, many times. I'm still going to be practicing it. I'm still practicing it. There'll still be more triggers that come up that I haven't even witnessed yet. But it felt so beautiful to be there with myself and feel that inner security. That was a huge, huge breakthrough. Okay, this dough, it's looking pretty crumbly, so I really don't know. I think I'm gonna add a little milk. Let's see what happens. So the biggest thing I learned was to honor myself. And there are so many tools for this. I discovered this YouTube video recently, and it was called The Breath of Life, where you breathe in for 7 seconds, you hold it for 3 seconds, and then when you breathe out, you move that energy, that prana, into your heart space. And the affirmations, you can do this as many times as you want, but the affirmations that go along with it are, I love myself, I trust myself, I value myself, and I honor myself. Honoring myself, this was the biggest breakthrough. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to honor you. When you want something, I'm going to figure out how to get it. I'm going to look at those desires. There's so many scenarios that you're going to have to rewrite when you move from people pleasing to honoring yourself. You have to drop into your body. Your intuition is going to become so much stronger when you truly trust that you're going to keep yourself safe. Then you also learn to trust your subconscious. The things that it brings to you, I want this, I want this, I want this. You're going to learn to trust those things, because when you go towards those things, even if you don't get it in the moment, when you go towards what sparks you joy, everything falls into place. You're all of a sudden in harmony. You're going to see 222 everywhere, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I wanted to be in this place. I manifested this. How did this happen? Decisions won't be hard to make anymore. It's just going to come to you. Your life will just be flowing in abundance when you learn to listen to your body. It's going to be different types of situations. And the big part about this is integration. So some people can talk and talk and listen and hear this, but they have trouble integrating it into their own life. As soon as they click out of this video, they forget. So let me give you some scenarios. It's like your friend asks you to make plans for next weekend, and you guys make plans and you're so excited, you're like, yeah, it sounds fun to go to the beach. Then it comes time to go, and that day you're like, you know what, I just want to stay in and be cozy today. I don't really want to go. I don't really see myself at the beach. I don't know what you would do in this situation, but I know that I've heard people be like, oh, I really don't want to go to this thing. What should I tell them? Should I just tell them this, and this? Should I just tell them this thing came up? And I'm like, but that thing did not come up. You don't need to lie to them. Let's trust that our friends all want the best for us, and let's be honest. Hey, I was so excited to go to the beach, but now that I'm sitting in my body, it doesn't feel right for me today. I actually want to stay in today. And then you can say, if you want to be alone, then just say that. If you maybe don't mind if they come over, watch movies with you. I'm thinking about watching some movies and making some popcorn. Like, would you want to join me? It is not as hard as it seems. And then you figure out that everything falls into place and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't really want to go either. Like, I changed my mind. Like, thank you for being honest. Another thing I would say is with work, honoring yourself. When an employer asks you to work, maybe last minute, or maybe not last minute, but it's not your normal routine, and they're like, can you please work this day at this time? If you want to work, say yes, of course. If you already have plans that you want to go to, you want to honor, you want to go to those plans, or you have something else you wanted to do that day because it was your day off, you already planned it, it's okay. It's totally okay. You must honor yourself. This is how you form a bond of trust with yourself. You call them and you say, you know what? I know I'm normally so flexible and I wish I could help you, but I have plans that day. And that's it. And that is totally okay. And trust me, if this is the job that's meant for you and they are a healthy piece of your life, they are going to be like, wow, I'm so glad that they have boundaries and they are honoring themselves. You're inspiring everybody around you. When you have integrity within, you inspire everybody around you. And okay, I think this is good. It's clumping together actually a lot nicer. So I'm going to fold in the chocolate chip. So as you know, I love chocolate. I love chocolate, especially dark chocolate. These ones, I didn't want it to have any sugar, so I found two options. These are called Just Date. It's 3 ingredients: organic cocoa, organic upcycled dates, organic cocoa butter. And I'm gonna pour in a lot because I love it. A metaphor I used yesterday with the girls was that this is your reality and you are one with the creator. And I have this really big picture mindset, so metaphors really work well for me. Like, you can zoom in and zoom out of any piece of life and it's gonna kind of mirror. So if you zoom all the way out and you look at space, the planets, each planet kind of looks like a cell in a body. And if you zoom all the way in to our hands, to our body, to anything, it's a bunch of tiny little molecules, a bunch of tiny little particles that are vibrating. But there really is this space for energy to send messages between each physical particle. There's a space. This has a point. So when I'm sitting, looking around at my reality, for example, I was sitting the other day at this beach restaurant. I was eating some really delicious food and I was journaling. I was looking around and I see the sun and the ocean waves and the breeze, and I see a table of children. They're laughing with one another and playing cards, and the dad's on the phone, and all the staff is obviously waiting and doing their job, and there's a table next to me and there's seagulls. And I was looking around and I was like, oh my gosh, every single person, every single piece of life it's kind of as if they're each a cell in my body. And I'm operating for the collective. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be taking care of themselves, because if every single one of my cells is healthy, then the collective is healthy. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's such an adorable thought. Like, it's so adorable. And then I was like, well, what is my role here? It made me think that I am the heart. Okay, so now I've mixed in the chocolate and I'm gonna put the cookies in the sheet. So I want to wrap this up by saying, when you let go of one thing in your life, you don't just have an empty space. You replace it with what you want. For example, like any sort of addiction, let's just take if you have an alcohol and an addiction. When you let go of that piece in your life, you have to replace that time and that energy with maybe a hobby or maybe a few hobbies, right? When you retire, you have to replace that time that you were working with hobbies. You're spending your energy doing what you want to do. And here's where this comes in. If my energy was attracting in the past people pleasing and nurturing others instead of me, then now I'm going to nurture me. If I was attracting these men not consciously, these types of men, these type of relationships, friendships, career, employers, then now I want to attract something else, the version that my ideal self would want. The first step, make a list of non-negotiables. Think about your partner, your husband, your ideal husband, and do not hold back. We are not in a poverty mindset. There is such an abundance out there, and what you want is not necessarily what someone else wants. So look inside and see what you truly want and make a list. My list is very long, and I am very confident about that. We are going to embody these characteristics, these qualities. When I made my non-negotiable list, I realized these are actually my favorite qualities about myself. I was kind of describing my ideal woman. Besides the part where masculinity and femininity had a role. But when I looked at this non-negotiable list for my husband, I also realized this works for friendships, and this works for the type of jobs that I'm open for. Men and money and career are all connected. And health. We are calling back our power. We have released giving away our power, and everything that man, that career, that karmic cycle represented, we are releasing it. We are letting it go. And now we are saying, God, I'm calling back my power. I am ready. Every fragment of my energy that I ever gave away, I call it back to me now. And you're going to see that now that you're embodying these qualities, you are loving yourself, you are nurturing yourself, you're gentle with yourself. Of course, the personal growth, but also just being gentle and slow and loving exactly where you are right now and the space between where you are and where you're going. And just appreciating it and loving it and living slowly and enjoying it. And you're going to see that now that you're in love with yourself, you're singing all the love songs to yourself. You have like a beautiful relationship with the universe, with God, with the energy, and you're just so appreciative, and you're giving yourself all your desires. You're gonna see that you are going to attract exactly what you are. You're going to attract exactly what you want. All those things on your non-negotiable list. Moments when you never thought you would receive, you're just going to be receiving. Because in every moment, you're so grateful for everything. You're grateful for how you show up in the world. And I want to go back to that metaphor I was using about how everybody around you in your moment, if they're all a cell in a body and you are the beating heart, some people will be nervous. Oh, what will other people think? What about this? What about this? Remember that you are the heart of the body and you are the leader, and everything else will fall into place and follow. So if you say, I love my life is so filled with joy. My life is so filled with love and affection. I see it everywhere. My life is so filled with taking care of my health and taking care of ourselves. Then you will look up. You'll see someone drinking green juice, somebody on a run, somebody giving someone a hug. You're going to see all the love and the affection and the joy and the taking care of yourself everywhere. You are the first one. If you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to eat alone, everybody's looking at me, I'm so awkward, then now everybody else is awkward. Even if they're not alone, they're like so awkward. They're like, are people looking at me, right? If you think, oh my gosh, I love eating alone. I'm so grateful for this time I'm spending on myself. And I'm so grateful that God made everything happen perfectly so that I'm at this amazing restaurant with nutritious food. I randomly had this perfect slot of time. Everything worked out. I'm just so grateful to be here. You're going to look around and see that you're inspiring others. Now everybody else knows that it's okay to be with yourself and love yourself and be in your feminine energy and be playful, open up to your inner child, and just love life. You're going to look up and see that. And then people are going to recognize that as well. And you're going to start receiving blessings left and right. It is beautiful when you realize that you are the creator of your reality. It's literally you. And if you think like, oh yeah, I'm so blessed, but I receive all these things, but there's this, then that's how your life will be. You'll be at an almost state. And I want you to be at a full state of loving yourself. Seriously. You wake up, you go outside, you hear the birds, and you think, oh my gosh, they're singing to me. They know my name. You feel the breeze, and you go, oh my gosh, the breeze is so happy to play with my hair. Oh my gosh, I just also want to point out when I came up with this metaphor, actually in that moment, a bird pooped on my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, a bird just pooped on my head. When I started cleaning it and the table next to me, it got them too. And they look at me and they're like, oh my gosh, she got you too. And I was like, yeah, I think this is a sign of good luck. And they were like, oh my gosh, I think you're right. I hope you're right. And I had tons of good luck since that moment. But I just thought, wow, this bird felt my energy and really wanted to be close to me. This bird was just so happy to fly over my head. When you see how everything is conspiring with you for your benefit, it does. It's your choice. This is how you move from prioritizing others' opinions and others' emotions, throwing that away, and loving yourself fully. Something I always love to say is, you know what? You did not choose to be born. You did not choose your desires, your tendencies, your preferences, the things that make you happy, the things that make you mad. You did not choose those things. You were literally born with them. This is Brielle.
Hey YouTube. Okay guys, I'm gonna add because earlier I was watching a TikTok and the girl was like, oh, you don't think I can do it? I came into this earth alone, sad, crying, and I didn't know how to speak for 2 years, and I didn't know how to walk, and I did it all by myself.
I love that.
And I was like, wow, that is so beautiful. Because if you think about it, we all came into this earth not knowing how to speak, you know, not knowing where we were, what we were, and
well, think about how we grew into a human.
Exactly.
Inside of a dark, wet space for 10 months, for 40 weeks.
Literally. And we came out all bloody and everything. And the first person we saw was our mom, but we didn't know. Well, actually, we knew she was our mom.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
I love that. Every plant is so beautiful. You look at it and you're like, God made that. That's nature. It's so natural. It's so beautiful. It is standing in what it is. It's just existing, and its existence is so beautiful. You see, like an animal, they're so beautiful. Look at them, the way they just are. Humans are nature. We don't get close to nature. We are nature. We literally are. You look at me, I'm a tree. I'm a flower. I'm the ocean. We don't tell the ocean that it needs to be more like a lake. The lake doesn't tell the ocean to be more like a lake. That's just the way they are is so beautiful. And in the ecosystem, everybody has a place. This works because this exists. This works because this and this exist. The world needs you. The world needs me. There is a slim chance that you were born as you, and you were. You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. What are the odds I was born? 1 in 400 trillion. Specially selected for this earth, for this timeline. I didn't choose my desires. I didn't choose what I want. I didn't choose my passions. I didn't choose all these things, but they're there as an instruction guide for me so that I can listen to my body, listen to my heart, and be who I was born to be, who the collective needs. And that is why we have to hold integrity for who we are. The ego will tell us that we're not enough and that we're not worth it and that we don't deserve all these things, and they're alive. And for you to step out of anxiety and step into creativity is going to change your entire life. I also wanted to say congratulations. Congratulations for being on this part of your journey wherever you're at, you're stepping out of where you were and you're leveling up. You're stepping more into yourself than you've ever been before. And that is so exciting. It's like a beautiful flower just for the first time realized that she's a beautiful flower. These look delicious. I'm just gonna finish these up and I will see you when they're all nice and delicious. Thank you so much for allowing me to remind you that there's only one of you, and you are the only one that truly gets to experience you, that truly gets to see you for all its parts. You get to love you more than anyone ever will. You get to see every single nook and cranny of yourself, and that is so special. I feel so blessed that I got to cook for you while chatting with you today. Two of my favorite things. Thank you so much. If your soul's been whispering that you're ready to level up, you're ready to rise and feel fully empowered, you can visit me at limitlesswings.com for one-on-one coaching. And until next time, thank you for honoring yourself. The world needs you. And the part we've all been waiting for. The cookies. And I'll be trying one, of course. The flavor is really good. The texture, it's not as bad as it, it's not as bad as it looks. It looks insanely dry and crumbly, but when you eat it, it's pretty moist and the flavor is really good. So, thank you again.